What is going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about the car that nobody really cares about, my 2012 Kia Optima. This, for your guys' information, is a turbocharged version, and basically I'm going to talk about the car after owning it for now about 4 or 5 months, 6 months, something like that, somewhere around there, I don't know. I'm basically going to just talk about the car and what I really feel could be done to the car to really improve it and make it an even better car already. Not that it's not already really good, but I do want to throw out this disclaimer. It's entirely possible that for the 2022 model, all the stuff I'm talking about might have already been done. I don't know, I didn't check, but in my opinion, just after driving this car, these are the things that I would see doing to the car to make it just really about the perfect daily driver. So we're joined by the cat today. The cat's out here giving me love right now, and the reason that she's giving me love is because, well, she wants to go in so she can eat like 3 morsels of food and then she can leave. She's a user, but we love her. So getting back to the Kia, first of all, I'll start on the outside of the car, because really I wouldn't change anything about the outside of the car. For the size of the car, it's very roomy. It has good front seat space, leg room, back seat, leg room, trunk is good size. I actually like the look of the car, and ever since I added the rims and tires and did the tinted windows, I really do think that the car looks very, very good. Now, something I would do to this car, definitely, step over here because I don't like the sun in my eyes. Something I would do to this car, now it is peppy. It's got a little 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder motor, and I think it develops something like 280 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. And for most driving, it is pretty peppy. It does pretty well. It gets out into the traffic just fine. It holds its own. I'm actually fairly impressed with the way it runs and drives and everything like that. But that's not to say it couldn't use more power. It could definitely use a little bit more power. And I really think that if a person were to take up the game by maybe another, I don't know, 75, maybe 100 horsepower, that would make it just about right. My problem with the car right now is that there are times I step into it and it feels very peppy. It feels like it gets up and goes very nicely. And then there are other times I step into it and I'm just not impressed at all. And I think that's just the problem with smaller engines that are turbocharged. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. But overall it is good. So one thing that would have to be changed if this thing had any extra horsepower is it would have to be changed from front wheel drive to rear wheel drive, or all wheel drive, which would be optimal, but at least rear wheel drive, because right now, even with the power that it has, you do get a lot of torque steer in it, and that would even be increased, of course, adding more power to it. So it would have to be rear wheel drive, which would change the dynamics of the car and everything like that, but it would be worth it. Now, going inside the car, the materials on the car are nice, but the plastic is very plasticky, and the material, while it's held up very good after 135,000 miles, and it looks good, I feel like there could be better quality material, a little softer touch materials, a little softer leather, a little softer, more appealing to the touch materials, but it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, and I do want to emphasize this, and I'll probably say this a couple times through the video. It's not needed, it's not necessary. These are just some things that I think would make the car a little bit better, in my opinion. Sitting in the driver's seat, and I'm going to try my very best to avoid the glare of the sun. I'm being lazy, I didn't want to move the car, so. But, you know, instrument panel is very good, all the gauges are right here, but I'm the type of person, I like a full set of gauges. I like to know what I'm charging at, what my oil pressure is, what my water temperature, everything like that is. I would like to have a full set of gauges, or at least like maybe to have the option right there on that center screen. You don't really have that. I mean, you get water temperature and that's about it, and I do wish I had that. Going over to the entertainment system setup, it is a very nice sounding entertainment system. I really do like it. I have no complaints about it, other than the fact that I do wish this screen was bigger. It's very small, it does have a backup camera, and I wish that the screen was like this entire size, or at least most of this cutout area right here. I think that would be a lot better. It's already touch screen, so I might just make like the volume and all these knobs and buttons and things like that touch screen. I think that would be much better. While I'm talking about the entertainment system, I really do like it. You can listen to CDs, you can listen to Bluetooth, it's got Sirius and everything like that. But my problem with it is that whenever I start the vehicle, it always defaults back to Sirius. I don't know why. I had the free 3 months and it was fine, but I'm not going to renew the subscription. And even now that I don't have it, it still defaults back to that. I wish it would default back to what I had before, you know, what I was listening to before I shut the vehicle off, which would be Bluetooth in my case. And that is another complaint, that it takes Bluetooth about a minute to actually hook up and read my phone and get the music going and everything like that. Other vehicles I have are a lot faster. It's definitely not my phone, it's definitely this system. So I do wish that was improved, but it is what it is, right? The car has a lot of creature comforts. It's got the panoramic roof, it's got the paddle shifters, it's got heated and cooled seats, it's got heated seats in the rear. I really do like what this car offers, although I do wish there were some additional features. Now, this particular model did come with a heated steering wheel. I do not have that. I wish I did have that in this car. That would be very nice. I also think heads-up display would be a very good addition to this vehicle, just because it's a safety issue, and I really like HUD. I really like the vehicles I've had that have had HUD. I've liked it, even though I tend to forget that I have it, and I still look at the speedometer and tachometer and gauges. I'm sure that if I drove a car on a daily basis and got used to it, I would use it more. Another thing that I didn't really think that I would like, but I do like because I like using my cruise control, is the adaptive cruise control. I had that on my Cadillac XLR. I do wish this car had it for a daily driver. I think it would be great, but of course it does not have adaptive cruise control, so that'd be a nice addition. Another thing is the tilt, which is like down here. It's tilt telescopic, and you drop this down and then you can move your steering wheel back and forth, in and out, which is nice, but I wish it was power or different, because I never use it. I never tilt the wheel up and down when I get in and out. And normally other vehicles, like if I have the tilt like kind of on the side of the column, like over here or something like that, I will use it. But with this one, I just don't use it because it's just more of a hassle than anything to go into there with that lever. And I know I'm nitpicking, but you know, that's just what I'm doing. I'm nitpicking. As far as that goes, I really don't think there's anything else I can think of. The air works good, the heat works good. Like I said, I like all the options in it. It's a nice driving car. It's fun to drive. Gas mileage wise, it's not as good as I would have thought it would have been. Now this thing does have, you see right there, that little button right there, it has eco mode. And I have tried it in eco mode. The eco mode does help out. It gave me about an extra 2 miles to the gallon. You can definitely feel the shifts are softer. The throttle response is not as quick, but I don't drive it in eco mode. I like to drive it in regular mode. And I mean, I drive it, I step into it a little bit, but even when I'm trying to be conservative, at best I might average around between 20 and 22, depending on what my driving is. I'm sure on the freeway I could get probably a little closer to 30, but I don't know, I guess I expected a little bit more mileage out of it, but mileage has never been a really huge concern for me, so that's not a make it or break it for me. And I'm sure, of course, if we were to add more power and more torque and everything like that, then we would definitely go down in mileage, but that would be okay because it'd still be so much more fun. But you know, overall, I do like the car. I think it's got a lot going for it. There are two things on this car that don't work that I haven't had fixed. I probably should, I just haven't. One is the lights. You notice the lights aren't on with the door open. They kind of worked a little bit when I first got the car, but now they're completely gone. I'm sure it's a short somewhere, and I can have it fixed fairly easily. The other thing over here, you have your knobs for your gas door and then your trunk. The trunk has never worked. I've never been able to pop the trunk from the inside, which is not a big deal. I've got it on my key fob, and then there's also a button underneath the trunk that I can pop the trunk with, so that's not really too big of a deal. I do have to say, this does have the key fob where you get in, you just have the key fob and you push to start. I do really like that. This is the first car I've owned that has that feature, and I do really like that. Like I said, overall it's a very nice car to drive. These cars also have the feature where it has like a little air conditioning vent in the glove compartment down here. That's kind of cool. If you want to put something in there and keep it cool, just open that vent up and have your air conditioning running, and it'll keep your beverage or whatever it is a little cooler. My wife and I went to a function the other day and we wanted to keep something warm, so we set it on the rear seat and turn on the seat warmers, and it did kind of help keep it warm, I think. So, or at least I want to tell myself it did. It might not have, but I want to tell myself it did. So that's kind of a cool function. I think it's a cool function to have the rear seat warmers in the back, you know. Yeah, that's why I said rear seat warmers. They're in the back. I think that's kind of cool. A lot of cars don't have that. So this car does have a lot of features, and especially for a 10-year-old car, it's really nice. It could just always be improved. There's always room for improvement. And I'm sure if all the improvements I'm talking about were made on this car, I'd probably want other improvements to be made. So yeah, I guess I'll just shut up and just enjoy it the way it is. But if you're looking for a nice little daily driver and you want to get into a car around the 10 grand range or what have you, this is definitely a good car to do it. This one, it now has 135,000 miles on it. I think I put like maybe 2,500 miles on it since I've got it. And this one did have a replacement engine, so the engine only has like 2,500 miles. It was done right before I got the car, so that's kind of cool. It's got a lifetime warranty on the motor, so I know it'll be taken care of if something happens to it. But it's been an overall very good car so far. Like I said, I've only had it about 5 months, I think it is, and I can follow back up in another year or so, assuming I have it that long, and tell you guys what I think about it there. But yeah, that's my 2 cents, and that's it. So Kia, if you're listening, if you haven't done this for 2022, make all these changes. Maybe I'll buy a 2022, who knows. At any rate, I'm going to end the video now. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My P.O. Box Instagram in the description below. Guys, God bless. Take care. Hope you're having a wonderful new year, and we'll talk to you later.